Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Brokers Open Podcast. I am Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow, and I'm here not as usual without Matt Vi. And so immediately I'm going to bring on our guest because I need somebody to talk to. You guys know me. Let's bring on with ReZecs, Karen DeFelice. Karen, how are you doing?
That right? DeFelice.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting for me. I appreciate
Yeah, I'm
it.
super excited. I'm super excited to share with all of our listeners, all the real estate agents out there in podcast land, what ReZecs is all about. I love your mission. I know that the agents will love your mission, and I just think they're going to get a tremendous amount of value out of this podcast. Before I ask you, how this all started, guys, make sure you hit that follow and that subscribe button wherever you are, and that really helps the channel. So, Karen, without further ado, tell us, what is ReZecs and how in the world did you get started in this?
Yeah, so ReZecs so first, how I got started with it is I was a real estate agent for 11 years. I worked for Keller Williams and I was on a team for 7 years and I absolutely loved it. But as every real estate agent knows, everybody's kind of got their hands in your pocket. So the team took 50%, Keller Williams took 50%, I had 20% of my paycheck. And all of us, that's how we all get started. So I was like, I'm going to go out on my own. And when I went out on my own, I realized that being on your own is very expensive. All of the systems, the back office, the CRM, the website, transaction, all of that. If you purchase these as individual agents, individual accounts, the price just skyrockets.
Yeah.
And it's the reason that you go underneath a brokerage. So that was kind of where ReZecs came along. I was like, okay, so I want to have my own brokerage. And I was in it with about 13 other agents. We all had the same idea. If we all went in under one name, we could get these discounted prices, but we were all going to have our own independence. So that's exactly what ReZecs is. What we have done is we have negotiated with all of the biggest players in the business, the best CRM, the best transaction management, and we're constantly adding more vendors. I'm in the process of talking to a nationwide MLS. A bunch of Prime Street would be for buyers leads. And what we are is an umbrella for real estate agents who want their own business, who don't want to advertise for somebody else, who don't want to carry, the red and the white or the blue and the red for somebody else's brokerage. They want to be on their own, but they're still small. They're either independent or they only have 10 to 25 agents, where it's just very expensive. So if we all pool our money together, we get these really good discounts. We can all have the best systems and we can compete with the Zillows, the Open Doors, all of these major corporations that are just making it impossible for mom and pops to stay open.
Gotcha. I love that. I love that mission for sure. And listeners, I told you that you would too. And so just to be clear, because, I think this is such a really cool model. ReZecs is not a brokerage, right?
No, and that is our biggest obstacle and I'm glad that I'm on this podcast, because when I'm trying to advertise, it's hard to get that through to people. They're like, no, I just went on my own. I have my own, I'm doing it. I'm good. And I'm like, I'm here to help you. I don't want to take over your business. We are literally here to help you keep more money in your pocket, so that you can hire more people, so you can advertise, so you can go on vacation, do everything that they told us we could do in real estate school. And when we actually got our license, we're like, wait a second. How much are you keeping? How much do I have to send to give to everybody else? No, we want you to keep as much money in your pocket as possible.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. So that being said, why don't you tell us about some of the, you're talking about, hey, we have these great deals with these systems and these other vendors. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, what there is to offer?
Yeah. So as a real estate agent, there are different, you do have options. So when you go out on your own, you can get like market leader CRM and website for $99, or you can get the best of the best. We work with Chime. So
Okay.
Chime CRM, and they really are enterprise level. They are going to have your smart plans, your website. They have SEO for your website. I mean, it's a huge, huge system, and it really is worth the money. But it's expensive. So like we said, we've negotiated these prices, and because we have so many people under us, we get the, the better pricing. So we use Chime, we use SkySlope, and Land Voice. So
Hmm.
those are our three main partners.
Tell us briefly about each one of those in case there's agents out there who aren't familiar with them.
Chime is one of the biggest and best in the business when it comes to CRM and website. So you're going to have your website fully, everything that you want in your website, fully customizable. Their CRM, they also integrate with Google leads, they integrate with Facebook leads, they integrate with TikTok and all of your different leads. The reporting that they have is really what sets them apart. You can use them to create a Facebook ad. So you just push a button and you tell them how much money you want to spend per month, and they got the rest. They will create the ad. If you have any houses on the market, if you've got any listings, you don't have to tell them. They already know it. They pull all of your listings, create an ad, and then all of their reporting shows you, you spent $1,000 on Zillow and you didn't get much, but you spent 500 on Facebook and you got all these leads. So your money's best spent here. So they have all of that. They're integrate with they've got an entire marketplace that you can just integrate with calendars and Google and just Zapier and everything else.
Yeah, I love that. Now, what about SkySlope?
SkySlope is the transaction management. Again, you can get, we know what's out there. Everybody knows you can get zip forms for free from the MLS. Most MLSs for. So everyone's like, why do I need to pay if I can get it for free? Well, you do get what you pay for, right? There's a reason for it. SkySlope, all of your forms are going to be there. They make sure all the forms are updated, so you don't have to worry about, your MLS updating anything. So they have everything updated. Your e-signer is in there. You have capabilities for your admin to go in and make sure your checklist, everything is done right. The checklist is really nice because it's all color coordinated. Your agents can go in, and if it's got a red, it means you haven't put it in yet. If it's green, it says everything's good. Your admin has looked at it and checked it off. If it's purple, you've put it in, but nobody's checked it off. It's got a lot to offer. And then we have Land Voice, which if you're a real estate agent, you've heard of them. You've got Land Voice, RedX, and Vulcan are the big seller leads. That would be your for sale by owner, your expireds, and all of your pre-foreclosures. Also your circle prospecting. You can go in and get just neighborhood searches as well.
Gotcha.
So like I said, those are who we work with right now. Going forward, we are in negotiation to get a couple of more buyer leads people in here. And like I said, the nationwide MLS, which I think is going to be really exciting. That's a really, they're an up and coming company as well. That might be on your show sometime. And Chime, we're constantly, pushing at Chime because we want to offer some of the Chime leads to our people as well.
Yeah. So I love that. So you're basically saying, just so I can understand it all correctly, and we've had a conversation, so I do understand it well, prior to the podcast. But so our listeners, you're basically saying you guys have all these things, but what you do is, of course, someone can go out and, pay for each one of these individually. But you kind of have, an enterprise level kind of bundle where you can get these things at a significantly discounted price and pay, and they can just pay like a monthly like membership fee.
So the way somebody described it back to me, and it's just always stuck in my head, is we are like the Costco of real estate tech. Costco they don't manufacture the pasta or the paper towels or the lamps. They don't manufacture anything. What they do is they go out and they use their huge buying power to get humongous discounts on all of the products that you go in. And then you pay Costco a membership fee for the benefit of getting those discounted prices. We do the exact same thing. We did not create the CRM. We use the best in the business, and we use our large buying power to get better prices. But instead of us keeping those prices low to ourselves and then taking, having people come underneath our wing and take half of their commission plus a monthly fee that we all have to pay, just a flat membership fee, and we all benefit.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
very similar. If you know how Costco works, that's exactly what we do.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yep.
So, now I think we all have a really good picture of, ReZecs, what they have to offer, and, the intelligence, the intelligence behind the brand.
Yep.
Now I kind of want to ask just a couple almost real estate, level questions of, gosh, there may be some agents out there who are, and I won't name any brokerages or anything, but who are in different brokerages that maybe they feel like, gosh, when I do get that closing, I'd like to bring more of that home, or, maybe I'm paying for support, but I'm not getting the support, that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But they're scared. They're scared to make that leap, and you've made that leap. So now
it
I
took
want to
me
talk.
8 years. It is difficult. You feel like you're under, you got your mentor, you've got security, you've got a brick and mortar, you've got a name behind you. It is scary.
Yeah. So tell us about that mindset. Tell us about, that first day when you said, okay, this is what I'm doing, and then you did it. Tell us, what it was like that first day. Because I remember when I started my chiropractic practice, and that first day I went into my practice in my office, and I sat there at the front desk. I had no appointments on the calendar. And I'm just kind of like looking around, like, okay, I got to figure this thing out. That was a scary day too. Tell us a little bit about your first day doing that, and maybe it can inspire some people to take that leap.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm always reading, the miracle. I've got Miracle Morning over here and Kevin Word and everything. And one of them podcast or whatever I was watching struck me. They're like, if you want to make more, if you can't keep up with your bills, you don't, cut the fat, or you have to cut the fat and everything. But what if you really, really want to make more money? Go buy a car. And I'm like, what? And he used that as a metaphor. He wasn't being serious, but he's like, what you need to do is put a gun to your head to say, I need to make more, like I need to do something. So when you're under an umbrella, when you go to a job and you punch a clock, it's easy. But I think you understand what I'm saying. When you're on your own and you have to, it's like, okay, you have to. There's no other way around it. Is you just hold your nose, and the best way to make more money is to put yourself in a situation where you have to make more money. And it is funny what happens when you have to, when you have no other choice. Yeah. When you're swimming on your own. And I mean, I can attest, like I said, I stayed with my firm for a very, very, very long time. I was a broker in charge. Here in North Carolina, every state uses different terms. In North Carolina, you're an agent or you're a broker, and a broker in charge. Yep. And I was a broker in charge, so I could have been on my own for 4 years. Yeah. And it was just, no, I've got my friends, they felt like my family. I was part of a team, and it just got to the point where every time I went to a closing and I took that check, because you get the whole check and then you have to give it to of course. I'm looking how much it is. I'm handing it over, and then I get my check, and I'm like, how often can you do that? And you're just like, I love you guys, everything you've done for me, you've helped me and everything else, but I have to do this for myself. Yeah, I get that for sure. When I first got my real estate license, within the first week of being licensed, I was under contract with a buyer, and
I remember doing the same thing. 30 days later, I had my closing and I brought that in and it was like, wait a second,
Yeah.
this doesn't seem right.
It's almost like psychological warfare because you get to see the whole check.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
getting it
exactly.
from the attorney and you have to hand it over. So yeah, I do get it. And this is what happened to me when I did finally leave. And all agents out there, you know what I'm talking about. You don't realize, okay, it's like, okay, now I have to set up my own systems.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I'm going to use the free ones, or I'm going to use the cheap ones, and you get all of your stuff set up. It takes weeks to get everything set up under these free systems. And then you realize after about 6 months going, this ain't working. I need something better. And when you go from this system, especially the CRM and the website, especially when you go from this system and bring it over to this one step bigger, you've got to set up all of your buyers, all of their listing alerts all over again. If you've got 100, 200, 1,000 buyers, it takes, I had my kids helping me. I'm like, you guys, everybody, all hands on deck. Every time you switch systems, transaction management, you don't have to do that. But I now still have my .loop. I still have my zip forms, because over the years, all my files are still there.
Yeah.
So every time you switch systems, and I think I want to talk to all of the new people that are either just about to jump ship or just started, every time you upgrade, because if you have a vision of, building your business, if you only want to be a single agent and you just want to sell 6 houses a year and that's it, by all means, get the free stuff. But if you have a vision of growing, that's why we started with the best, because we've got the end in mind. You will never outgrow Chime. This is what EXP uses. You will never outgrow SkySlope. Again, this is what I don't know if EXP uses. I know a lot of people, but I know EXP uses SkySlope. So you're never going to be in the position where, oh my God, 3 years down the road, I now have, 100 people working for me and I've outgrown my CRM. And I've got thousands of leads that I have to reset up and figure out, okay, they want X house for X amount of, nope, all of your smart plans. So that was the reason why we went with the biggest and best. So people who are just starting out come up, they can come with us and they can pay the same amount as the smaller systems, but they're setting themselves up to be the larger brokerage.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So my last question here, and then of course I want people to know how to reach out to you and get in touch, is do you have to have a broker's license? Like, do you have to be able to go out on your own with that broker's license to use ReZecs, or what does that look like if you don't?
That is a really, really great question, because it's an individual basis, and by absolute no means, no, especially if you're working for a larger brokerage and you have a lot of anonymity, where you're basically doing your own thing and you are on your own under a brokerage. Now, a lot of brokerages, I know on my team, we didn't like the CRM or the website that they used. So we used Real Geeks. And I was on a team in a brokerage. So there's a lot of reasons that people use. The one thing in a brokerage you're not going to be able to use is our transaction management, because that's up to the brokerage. They're the ones that do that. And we are under umbrella. So it is the whole thing, but so you don't use SkySlope, but you would take advantage of the best CRM, the best website, any leads that we have. Like I said, we've got Land Voice. We're in negotiation for Prime Street and and anytime we add more. So if you are on your own, you absolutely can have your own website. You absolutely can use your own CRM. No brokerage is going to say you can't. They're not going to help you pay for it, but they will. So yes, we do have teams that use our stuff. They just don't use SkySlope.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. I was doing the same thing. So just wanted some clarity there for the listeners. So again, like there's no way that someone's not, interested in talking to you after they've listened to this, after they listen to this episode. Why don't you let us know what's a few ways for, agents to get in touch, learn more about what you do, or just meet a really cool person?
Well, I hope that they called me, but we are, like I said, we started out as a co-op. So when you contact us, the best way I would say is admin@rezecs.com, like administrator. It's
Yep.
ADMIN@rezecs.com. And I put you on that one because we are a bunch. This was started by a lot of real estate agents across the country. So
Yeah.
when you do come and you talk to us, you're not talking to a salesperson. You're not talking to somebody, who used to work at Zillow and is just taught this. We're all real estate agents trying to help real estate agents stay in business. So
Yeah.
if you go on admin and just write my name, hey Karen, or just, hey, I saw the podcast and I'm interested in hearing more, one of our agents will get in touch with you.
I love that.
You
I
can
guess
also find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok.
Perfect. Well, guys, I'll make sure that I put all those things in the links in the description below. So click on that, or copy and paste it depending on what kind of device you're on, and reach out to Karen for sure. Karen, you were amazing, of course, just like we knew that you would be. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate it, Dr. Ben. I really do. And yeah, hopefully we all help each other out.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Well, guys and gals, if you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, any of those platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, what's up? Make sure you hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside it to get notified every time we drop a new episode. Also, leave a comment below and let us know what CRM that you're using, and give us a thumbs up and like the episode. It just helps the algorithm. Go to brokersopenpodcast.com to watch all of our past episodes and learn, pick up some free goodies that we have for real estate agents there. As always, Brokers Open Podcast is not just about open houses. It's about open minds.
I like that.